Hello everyone, welcome back to Witchinary. If you have yet to subscribe to this channel, then please do so because we're getting crafty. And today this video is starting off a little bit different. If you are new to my channel or you've just never seen what I look like, this is the face behind the voice that takes you on really weird and eccentric journeys through card making. Hi. My name is Marissa for all of you new subscribers out there. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. And thank you so much for supporting me even though I'm like literally never on here. So yeah, thank you. I promise I'm not always like this. It's been a really weird year, but where have I been? Because I'm sure that some people are like looking for an update. I promise it's nothing bad. I literally have just been having a great summer, and that has just kind of taken me away from my craft desk. So I've just kind of like been away. Honestly, it was really nice to recharge my batteries with friends in different states, you know? And I really like experiences like that because they kind of get me more in the mood to create cards to send to these very magical people. I think sometimes we have this tendency of just kind of like feeling like we have to like create and churn cards out to keep audiences engaged with us. And while I do believe that's true, and for people that this is like their whole job, I completely understand. But if this is a hobby for you, then like, yo, take a break, go out, remind yourself why you're sending these cards, like the magic behind it, you know? I do feel very energized, and I'm so happy to be back. That said, I'm gonna be leaving you guys again. I know someone's like, girl, you just came back. What is you doing? Hold up. You just disappeared, girl. What's going on? Dogs, I have to. What are you telling us? Hold up, what? I gotta prepare for Witchinary's 13 Crafty Nights. So if you have missed me and you want more content, guess what? More content is coming at you. I really love Halloween. It is my favorite holiday. I'm sure you guys can figure that out based on this. I am a master of disguise. So that's where I will be, but don't worry, it'll be worth it. I also have more unfortunate news. I've unsubscribed from the Hero Arts card kits, and it's nothing personal. I absolutely love Hero Arts. In fact, the card video that I have for today is a Hero Arts video. It's the last couple of card kits I haven't really been into, and instead of spending my money, that $34.99 on a card kit that I'm maybe never gonna use, or I'm not gonna use for like a few more months, I would rather take that money and put it towards another card kit that I can then feature on this channel, maybe make some really creative things and show you guys new card kits to maybe try out one or not, and I think it'll be fun. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. That said, if I see a super gorgeous, a natural, a lovely, delectable Hero Arts card kit, then of course I'm gonna get it, like, of course. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, if you've stuck around this long, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna hand you over to the voiceover. If you are an OG Hero Arts fan and you've been subscribed to them since like September 2017, then I cannot wait to show you guys how I made these amazing little cards. Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that update. Like I said, I will be using the Hero Arts September 2017 stamp set or card kit. This card kit is still my favorite card kit ever, and the stamp set is one of my most prized out of my entire stash, so I'm really happy to bring it to you guys. If you don't have it, I do hope this video at least puts you in a little bit of a fall mood. It's Labor Day weekend, we might as well, you know? So to start off my color layering, I'm going to use my Simon Says Stamp Sunshine ink cube to just layer the bottom layer. My second layer I'm going to stamp down using the Hero Arts Fiesta Yellow, and my top layer I am going to use some Hero Arts Pumpkin Pie ink. I am not using the original stuff only because like this stamp set came out in 2017 and I am not good at keeping things alive that long, so unless it's my rabbits are great, but yeah, not ink cubes. So I'm surprised the pumpkin pie one lasted this long, but I definitely do not have the rest. I went over some of that detailing with my fossilized amber distress oxide ink. For the center of my sunflowers, I'm going to be using a little bit of walnut stain and vintage photo. I just really like this color combination. It's really detailed and perfect for color layering. I also use this exact same color combo of walnut stain and vintage photo for the tops of my pumpkins. For my pumpkins, I'm going to be using a little bit of Spice Marmalade Distress ink, as well as Ripe Persimmon and some Tangerine Hero Arts ink. For the stems of my sunflowers, I'm going to be using some Peel Paint Distress Oxide ink, and for the details inside of them, I'm going to be using some Mode Lawn Distress ink. Although you can't really see the detail, I do like the way that it looks in person, so that's all that matters. Because I made so many cards, guys, I kid you not, the inside of my thumb was bruised, but I definitely didn't have enough time to show you every single one. So for this orange card, I used a combination of Ripe Persimmon and Spiced Marmalade. I was going for kind of like a sunset slash pumpkin look. And I just thought it would look beautiful against the yellow of the sunflowers, so I just ink blended that down on a long card. I'm not really sure how long these cards are. I use an envelope as my reference, and that's kind of how I cut. The last layer of my color blending for that particular card was fossilized amber distress oxide ink. But yeah, lengthwise, I would just recommend taking a envelope and just cutting a card down so it can fit. For this purple card, I used a combination of wilted violet and seedless preserves, and I'm just gonna blend all the way down. These took forever to blend out, and I made about 5 or 6 of them. So yeah, this took forever. The last layer, I'm going to be using some shaded lilac just to make a really nice strong purple card. Purple and yellow are complementary colors, so I knew these sunflowers would pop on that card. I also really wanted to experiment with some of my colors, so for this long card, I decided to use some antique linen at the bottom of my card. And then I blended upwards using some spun sugar and then seedless preserves, with the top layer being a little bit of chipped sapphire. I felt like these would kind of make a really weird rainbow effect. It kind of happened, but then I wasn't really happy with like how poorly I blended everything out, because again, my thumb was aching from making so many cards. Like, I became energized, and I swear becoming the Energizer Bunny just changed my entire life, and I thought my thumb could handle all of this ink blending, but clearly not. Whatever. Anyway, onward to my cards. So the design for each of these cards is very, very similar, and all I did was play around with dimension. Because I had already die cut so many of these sunflowers, I definitely wanted to kind of play around with not just dimension like I always do, but I really wanted to play around with the layout itself. So if I knew that I could get away with chopping a sunflower in half and playing around with the landscape so it looks like sunflowers are higher than others, then that's what I was gonna do. These cards were definitely inspired by my friend Xiomara, who just graduated from nursing school. She has this picture on her Instagram of her just standing in a field of sunflowers, and she's a plus size model who's just beautiful and gorgeous, and I live for that picture. And when she graduated, I wanted to make these sunflower cards because of autumn, but when she said that she would really like one, I was like, oh girl, I'm going balls to the wall with my design for this. So yeah, this is kind of where that came about. As you can see, I chopped one sunflower in half, and that's what I meant by kind of playing around with things being kind of in the card itself, some being higher, some being lower than others. I'm also playing around with the stem because I didn't actually stamp out a ton of those stems. So if I can kind of cheat my way into making more cards, or to making these cards look fuller than what they actually are, then I was totally down. But for the most part, these cards were not that different from one another. They just had these really slight tricks on how to make my chopped up pieces seem more than what they are. to just make them fuller or appear fuller than what they actually were. But in all honesty, they were just kind of like me playing around with the different scraps here and there. I also learned not to try to glue things down when backgrounds were still wet with distress ink. I don't know why. I don't know. I just never knew that, but apparently you can't do that. The cards come apart. It's really, really bad. So yeah, I learned that here. So I kind of had to re-adhere a few things down after I was done you know, taping or lifting certain parts of these cards up. But it was well worth it. I really, really, really love these cards. I think they are so perfect for the fall. I think they're perfect for anybody who loves sunflowers. I think that anything with a bright yellow flower in it, like a sunflower, will definitely cheer up anybody getting these via snail mail. Yeah, so once I was done with kind of arranging these cards and figuring out like what I wanted to put where, making sure that these were full, continuing to like experiment with dimension. I did raise some of my sunflowers up purposefully just because I wanted to make them look like they were in the foreground versus all the way in the background. I also wanted to play around with the pumpkins. I don't know why I thought that the pumpkins would look a little bit weird because they would be kind of at the same level as some of the sunflowers, but I don't know. I think that for a card, the dimension stuff and the landscape and the orientation doesn't really matter because it's so cheerful. I didn't use pumpkins for every single one of my cards. For some of them, I did use just sunflowers, and the way I got around getting rid of some of those petals was that I would just tuck them behind other sunflowers to make it seem like there were like little leaves coming off of it, making it look slightly more realistic and whatnot. For the blue background of this card, I used some chipped sapphire as well as some tumbled glass distress oxide ink. I thought that gave it a really nice depth, as well as I literally made this card like 3 or 4 times because I just was so in love with that gradient. Here I am with the disgraceful card that I didn't ink blend at all, but whatever. And this particular card I really wanted to make just full of sunflowers. There was just something about this background, even though I didn't blend it out as well as I could. I wanted to hide all of my sins, and I also wanted to make it beautiful. So here was my best attempt at that. I definitely glued things down in weird ways. Like there is a floating sunflower up there, but it's just meant to give the illusion that that's a really, really tall stalk. And I just kind of hit a lot of those blending faux pas just by adhering things and lifting other things. But again, some of these were very wet, so I just it was kind of a struggle. To finish off these cards, I went ahead and I just made some die cuts using some word dies. The Believe is from Simon Says Stamp, and the Smile die is from Lawn Fawn. I felt that the Lawn Fawn Smile die was just way more whimsical for this. It brought all of that beautiful color layering that's very realistic kind of down with a little bit more of a whimsical sort of feel, and it just gave these cards more of a contemporary look. At least for me it did. So I kind of went to town with the Smile die, and I just kind of put it on everything. I really, really love these cards. I'm hoping that the people who get them really enjoy them as well. But yeah, I layered a few on top of each other, and a few I just kind of like left alone. After I was done with all of the actual gluing down of the sentiment or whatnot, I go ahead and I just make a few little sparkles around my actual die cutted word because I just wanted to give it a little bit more interest without giving these cards too much dimension by adding something like a sequin or anything, so I just drew it on. I did decorate the inside of these cards with a little bit of washi tape and one of the sentiments that came in the stamp set itself, so that was really pretty. And I did go ahead and I sprinkled some glitter spray I have at home just because I wanted a little bit of glitter, but I didn't show that on camera. And here are the ones that I made on camera. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope that you guys enjoyed these cards. I did make a little small card for all of these. I hope to see you guys again soon. Take care.